Hello, welcome to Computer Literacy 101. This course is brought to you by fellow.it.net. Okay, so we're going to go over the introduction. These are the basic topics that we're going to cover. So we're going to start with basic hardware, network basics, operating systems, common software, security procedures, and basic maintenance. We will require a couple of things before we start this course. We will recommend that you have a system with Windows 10, 7, or even XP, or any Mac operating system should do. So make sure you check that off. We will require to use Office 365 because most businesses do use Office 365. We're going to go over some open source alternatives if you are a business owner that is looking to implement some kind of document system. So more than likely, you're going to want to check out 365. I think the home and student user license is around $6 to $7 a month. It's worth checking it out. You can go to microsoftonline.com to check that out. You will require an internet connection, so make sure you do have that. If you don't have an internet connection, I have no idea how you access this course, but hey, that's pretty cool that you did. But you will need that. And also, you will need to practice whatever you learn. One of the things is that you won't learn this just by looking at the course and looking at the videos, unfortunately. You do have to practice and get used to using all this, whether it's the system, whether it's Excel or Word, or even going on the internet and checking some stuff out that you usually don't. All right, so we're going to move on to the next slide. Technology through automation and artificial intelligence is definitely one of the most disruptive sources. Let's ponder on this quote and continue the next slide. So I'm going to start off the syllabus with going over basic hardware. Now this is stuff that you're going to have to know whether you're helping out an IT technician or if you're an IT technician yourself. So computer ports. Definitely going to have to know where your mouse is being plugged to, where your printer is going to go, and pretty much every other device that you're going to put into your computer, whether it's a scanner or something else. Basic network equipment. If you're in a store or a restaurant, more than likely you're connected to your corporate network through computer network equipment. So you're definitely going to need to know how to identify this equipment and how to troubleshoot it. Telephone systems. Definitely going to have to know what kind of telephone system you have, whether your telephone system uses internet protocols or if it's an old school analog. Audio-visual equipment. Well, that's kind of self-explanatory, but just in case, it's TVs. TVs, conference room equipment, anything that can display an image and play music or audio. So it's not always the case where you do have AV equipment, but nowadays most stores, most retail shops do have some sort of TV or something that plays some kind of promotion, and more than likely the store personnel or somebody will have to either mess with it, troubleshoot it, or call an IT technician to see what's going on with that. Printers, definitely a must, especially if you work in an office. You're definitely going to have a lot of headaches with printers, and hopefully I can help you navigate through troubleshooting a lot easier. Security systems. That's actually kind of a hard one because more than likely you're not going to mess with the security system if you're just a regular employee. Maybe if you're a manager, you might have to arm the security system or identify what point of failure the security system has. Network basics. So this is something that we're going to briefly touch upon. We're not really going to go too much in depth into it because it's such a complicated subject, but pretty much your home and office networks, we're going to go over pretty much how they work. Wireless networks, how to identify the difference between your regular Ethernet connection and wireless connections. 4G wireless. It's not Wi-Fi, so we definitely have to go over it. That way we can understand how it works. And the internet. It's a big mystery, and we all want to know what the cloud is. Excuse my horrible cloud. Operating systems. So these are the main three. There's definitely other operating systems like Unix, which is pretty much Linux, But Windows, we all know Windows. It's kind of hard not to know Windows because it's predominantly the largest OS share system that we have. So mostly everything is going to run on Windows, whether it's your POS system at work, whether it's your office PC that you're using, it's probably more than likely going to have Windows. Mac, a lot of people like Mac. Why? Because it syncs with their iPhones, iPods, and every iDevice that anybody has. Personally, I'm not a fan, but I do recognize that Macs are very simple and they integrate quite nicely with other devices. That's because they're proprietary. Well, they have proprietary software and proprietary hardware, which doesn't really play nice with Windows, and we could discuss more about this in future lessons. Linux. Linux is my personal favorite because it runs, well, the Linux kernel runs on all Android devices. So definitely Linux runs on a lot of devices, whether we know it does or doesn't. Some TVs may have Linux, and we'll go a little bit in more detail in regards to that. Common software. So we're going to go over common software that we use on a daily basis, whether you're enterprise or if you're a small business. Office 365. You might be using Office 2007 or some older version, and that's okay. They should have pretty much the same basics. So whatever we learn, you could apply in pretty much every other Office software. If for some reason it doesn't kind of line up, let me know. I'll be glad to help you out and see if we could find the similarities. Adobe products. Definitely not everybody will use an Adobe piece of software, but it is quite common in the business world. So I will go over your pretty much bare bones basics, which would probably be Adobe DC, which is your Acrobat reader for PDFs. Open source alternatives. All of these are proprietary softwares, which means that Microsoft owns this little piece of software right here, and Adobe owns Adobe Acrobat or Adobe DC. Security procedures. It's definitely important to protect your information. Not only your information, but also your hardware. Protecting your equipment. You're definitely going to want to keep your servers or any valuable equipment away from people that could harm your equipment or even steal your data. You also got to protect your passwords. It's very important that we don't let anybody see what we're typing in, and especially when it comes to our passwords. It could contain our personal information like our bank accounts or anything personal such as our Facebook password. You really wouldn't want just anybody accessing your messages. Whether or not you think it's innocent or not, they could gather information or data that involves your personal life, and they could really wreak havoc on you. So you definitely want to protect your personal data, including your password. Antivirus and malware. This is kind of a topic on its own, but we'll go a little bit more in depth with this topic because nowadays there's a lot of ransomware going around that's asking for money to repair your PC when you really don't have any virus. And we'll carry on to the next slide. Basic maintenance. When a computer is down, we lose precious work time, and we don't want to do that. So we're going to learn how to clean our computers, clean the physical components, proper shutdowns, what to do when we have a power outage, cable management, updates, and software maintenance. Thank you for watching the video. You can learn more at velait.net, and we'll be posting new content every Friday. Thank you.